Trent Alexander-Arnold with the winner. Mo Salah breaking the 12-hour goal drought at Anfield. Finally a win, and Liverpool back in the top four. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 1. Liverpool deserved winners today, no doubt about that whatsoever. They were the better team over the 90 minutes, but it looked at the end of that first 45 like maybe Liverpool's luck was going to go against them. Ollie Watkins scores a goal courtesy of a catastrophic, a disastrous piece of goalkeeping from Ellison, and then a very poor VAR offside call goes against Liverpool, and you just think, wow, is this their season wrapped up in a nutshell? Second half came on, and Liverpool just got better and better. Mo Salah picks up the equaliser after a little bit of poor defending, it must be said, by Aston Villa. And then the game was in the balance for a little while. Villa had a few half chances, and then Liverpool came again in the last 10 minutes, and right at the death, the maligned, the highly criticised Trent Alexander-Arnold steps up, buries an absolute scorcher, a steamer, an absolute thunderbolt. It's a thunderbolt, curler, screamer, wonder goal, buries it, and puts Liverpool back inside the top four. I want to know how you're thinking and you're feeling, Liverpool fans. Make sure you smash that like button right now. That's really important that you get that done. Subscribe to the Football Terrace if you haven't done so already. And what a goal for Trent. What a performance. What a 3 points it is. But this all ahead of a mammoth tie. A mammoth tie against Real Madrid on Tuesday. What a remedy for recent woes. What a way to inject some confidence back into your team, back into your squad. We're going to be taking your calls on this show today. We're going to share the link very, very soon. We've got some super chats here. Says, Alisson is the most overrated keeper. Edison over Alisson is what Lennon Sweet has had to say there. Man like Philip Hunt, long time no see, sir. Says, I'm so happy, Terry. Finally a home win. Felt like last season we actually came back from 1-0 down. Top four, I still think won't happen, but happy. It puts pressure now on Chelsea that kick off in 30 minutes time. And of course, we'll be live straight after that game as well. But it puts huge pressure on Chelsea, pressure onto West Ham, even a bit of pressure onto Leicester in their forthcoming games. Liverpool have laid down the gauntlet and said, let's go. Monster Ahmed says, happy with the win. That sleeve rule needs to go. The sleeve rule can't go because you can control the ball with this part of your arm. So they've got to change the whole handball rule. Essentially, that's what they're going to have to do. But I hear you. I hear how frustrating it is. I get it, and I feel it as well as a football fan. Liam here says, Salah doing what he does, and under all the pressure, Trent delivers when it matters. My right back. What a massive result. Let's go Reds. Man like Aaron says, Trent haters, be quiet. Listen, personally, everyone knows for me, I've still got, there are flaws in these defensive capabilities. I think Liverpool should look to moving further up the field into a midfield position, an attacking position as such, buy a better defensive left back and get the best of both worlds. That's what you need to do here. We've got Safe Backstage coming on very, very soon. Terry, we're so bad. Honestly, Virgil van Dijk comeback will not save us next season if things don't change. I'm convinced of that now. VAR is a sick joke. Let me say this to you now, and I mean this wholeheartedly. Liverpool fans. You weren't bad today. What you see coursing through the veins of Liverpool right now is a lack of belief, a lack of confidence within this team. It isn't a lack of ability. It isn't a lack of coaching. It isn't a lack of want and trying. It's just the confidence to get over the line. That will return. That will return to Liverpool Football Club. Mark my words. to hear here. One of our long-standing viewers and super chatters says that's what we need to do. Smash it in. No overthinking. Who cares how it goes in? But F the VAR and F the ref. Listen, the VAR's they've got to look at the offside rules next season and see if that can make anybody else happy. Zaha masterclass incoming. Listen, Liverpool fans be watching for that result today and screaming for a Palace win. Loads more super chats to do here. Conroy is now backstage as well. Michael says Jota needs to learn how to pass the final ball. Keller should be Liverpool's number one. Like, Alisson's had a bad season. 5 errors leading to goals in one campaign. I think is almost as much as he managed in all these previous games for Liverpool combined. So this season's been poor, but he will come back. There's no doubt about it. C says, Terry, if Trent Alexander-Arnold moved to midfield, isn't he just going to get rinsed when he needs to track back and defend? No, because the defensive... No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will expose his defensive frailties anymore. It can mean he can focus on being that creative outlet. I would look to do it. For me, as an England fan, I want to see Trent move further forward because we have better defenders than him. So let's utilise his outstanding creative ability. Jaylings Fam says, Terry, on a serious note, do you actually think Liverpool will make the top 4? Let's be real. Liverpool can make the top 4. Liverpool may make the top 4. Genuinely, they can do it. Who they're up against? They're up against Leicester. They've got a better team than Leicester. They've got a superior team to West Ham. Chelsea are going to be the big competition. But I still think there's 2 places up for grabs here. They're only 4 points behind Leicester City right now. It's up for grabs. Liverpool can do it. If they can find their confidence, they can bounce back. No doubt about it. We're going to go to our first caller of the day. We're going to do one-by-one calls today. Just try and sound out a little bit different on the terrace. We're going to open up for you as well. First up, it's Man Like Safe. He's here with me. What are you saying, bro?
Yo, man. He's Alexander-Arnold. The Scouser in our team. Have you seen me smiling on your stream before, Terry? Have
Never.
you even seen me smile?
Never.
Do you know, before, like the last time I came on the stream, yeah, we did this whole segment on Trent and how he's not making the England squad and all that sort of stuff. Today, I'm not even joking, yeah. Up till that goal, I was cussing him the whole game. I was saying, we need to get this guy off. We need to get a new right back that can defend. Or this guy really needs to start hitting Jim and defend. And as soon as that goal went in, everything out the window, because all that matters is 3 points. And you know what? I've been saying this whole time that top 4 is not a possibility for Liverpool, but I'm not joking. It just takes one result from Crystal Palace today and everything changes. So I'm hella excited, man.
Do you know what it is, man? You just need to focus on yourselves because Chelsea have got some really tough games to come. West Ham, with all due respect, I don't see them staying the course. Antonio looks like he's out for a while. Declan Rice is missing, so they'll fall away. And we know what Leicester like to do. We know what Leicester do. We know what the way Leicester behave. You can make the top 4. There's no doubt. You need to just get that confidence back. I look at your team, barring Mo Salah, you all just seem to lack the confidence to go and just get the job done. But you did that today. Do you think, in terms of top 4, you kind of mentioned now, you think you might be able to do it. Let's see what Palace do later. Ahead of the Real Madrid game coming up, what's your thoughts on that now that you've had this sort of shot of confidence?
So before this game, I was saying that a big result against Aston Villa is going to be important because, number one, we got humiliated against Real Madrid in the middle of the week. And I feel like Villa could be a starting point of where this whole downfall kind of weakness in Liverpool was seen. And I thought, you know what, today's like a day to break the curse sort of thing against Villa. And I thought either we need to go and batter them a good 5-0, or we need something like a last minute winner to boost confidence in the team. And I think now a lot of the players on the team are thinking, number one, scoring goals, it's not that bloody hard. Like, it took literally 4 one-touch passes for the first goal for Liverpool. And then on top of all of that, we're currently 3-1 down to Real Madrid. We've got 90 minutes to score 2 goals just to equalise, and then we've got the advantage on away goals. So it's not that far. Obviously, Madrid and Villa are 2 different type of fish. Do you get what I mean? But the fact that the game went to the 90th minute, I'm hoping that we bring that attitude and carry on thinking to ourselves that, you know what, like, it's literally not over until the fat lady sings. And we needed that boost of confidence.
One early goal against Real Madrid. We know what Champions League knockout football is all about. You know that, especially as a Liverpool fan, it can change. I still look back to that famous Barcelona game. If you wouldn't have scored as early as you did, maybe if it went 20, 30 minutes without you scoring a goal, I don't think you'd have won. It was that early goal that gave you that, here we go. We might be able to do this. And you do that against Real Madrid, who knows? And I said for a while now, it's confidence has been lacking, because even though you conceded a goal, terrible keeping from Ellison, it was the story of the season where you just missed and missed and missed and missed and missed opportunities. And then the other team go at the end and score a goal. You look at the majority of your defeats this season. Barring that a couple of games, you haven't been battered by most. It's been 1-0s, 2-1s, narrow defeats. And if you go back and look at those games, you've missed an absolute plethora of chances. So if the confidence can just be struck into some of these players, there's no doubt that you can turn it around against Real Madrid.
Yeah, do you know, at halftime, I could not tell you how upset I was, because it was literally the typical Liverpool performance. Chance after chance after chance. We've got a 0.9% conversion rate. And next in the league is like Fulham with like a 2.3% conversion rate, which is mad. And we're like Liverpool, do you get what I mean? We're meant to be like top 6, all that sort of stuff. Just recently won a Champions League, Premier League, like holders and everything. But then Villa went and scored, which is so typical. That, like, I think that happened against Brighton, happened against West Brom. It's happened against so many teams. We've just been the attacking team and then just go concede 1 goal. And Leicester, what happened? Everything fell apart. And then on top of everything, Firmino got that goal. And I thought, all right, at least we're going into halftime 1-1. At least the team hasn't like completely fallen in terms of confidence. And then obviously VAR just to on the wound. You get what I mean?
Just on your point, as it stands right now, make your statement. Are you going to finish in the top 4?
Yes, we're going to finish.
That's safe. Thank you for coming on today and having your say. Really appreciate that, mate. Top man. The link has been shared in the comments section. You can phone in and have your say right now. Next up, we've got Conroy with us. Conroy, with the fresh trim, all the way in Scotland. Congratulations on the win. Give me your thoughts on that performance.
I thought it was good, Terry. It was improved. I know what Safe was saying there about the typical performances, but I actually thought first half were pretty good, like better than we've been in previous games. And then, as you said, 1 chance to Villa, terrible goalkeeping. We might have confidence, but I don't think Alisson will. Alisson's in very bad form right now. I think the Madrid mistake got played down. That was awful goalkeeping as well. Great goalkeeper, but he's not in great form.
Yeah,
I felt like, we did actually play better than I'd seen us play recently in the first half. Even against Wolves, it was more like basketball. I thought we had more control today. Then they score, and then obviously the goal gets disallowed, and then the confidence is down. But for me, like, I think is that if you want to be a top team, you need to have the mentality to know like decisions like that affect you and keep going. There's too many excuses constantly for why we don't win games. It's like top teams just get on with stuff. That's what you're meant to do. So we get the goal quite early second half, and then we move on. And then it is a good mentality to get back and score the winner. I was buzzing for Trent, but to be honest with you, mate, I'm not going to get gassed too much as I don't usually. I think Villa weren't great defensively today. There were spaces, there was gaps. I think Madrid are a whole different kettle of fish, and Madrid are they'll come to Anfield more intelligent than Barca did and try to play their football. Madrid will know their weaknesses and play and make it difficult for us. So, I mean, I'm buzzing with it, and maybe got a chance for top 4, but in my opinion, we won't. I've said it before. I think consistently we've proved that we can't get a run of games together and keep going. And I think the teams around us will do that. So that my thoughts has not changed on it. Today, brilliant, buzzing with the win, but I still need to see a bit more if we can make top 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I would be more confident if I was you, just based on the fact that you've got this plethora of talent. You've got such an array of quality. You've got a better squad than Leicester, a better squad than West Ham. I think you're about on par with Chelsea on paper. You can be better than Chelsea. You've proven that in the Premier League. I think the Real Madrid result will be quite telling. I think what you do in that Real Madrid game, it could be that. I think winning it, what I mean is that confidence boost it can give you from coming back to reinstill that mentality. Who stood out today as sort of man of the match performance from Liverpool? Salah, Trent, of course, getting the goals. Was there anyone else that you thought?
I thought, see, before the game, a lot of Liverpool fans were saying Tsimikas could come in because Robbo needs a break. I'm not saying necessarily as man of the match, but I thought first half he was very good. And then I thought, to be fair, a lot of Liverpool fans would say Firmino, that was probably the best game he's played in about since maybe in about a year or 6 months. He was actually quite good today as well. So I'd probably give some credit to Firmino. Unfortunately, Mane came on and he just looks like his confidence is all over the place. But for me, I would say Firmino deserves some praise for today as well. And obviously Trent, stepping up. That's a clutch finish, Terry. That's not just hit and hope. Like, he's knew where he wanted to put that.
Trent did today what I say Trent's amazing at. Going forward, creating, scoring. That's his role. They've got to find a way of developing him into almost Gareth Bale-esque. Not that he's a dribbler in that same way, but Bale started off as a fullback and then turned into one of the best attackers in the world. I think at some point in the next 12 to 18 months, that's what you do with Trent Alexander-Arnold, because defensively, the frailties are there. So why not just let him do what he does best and be a creator, be a goal scorer at times, and sort of yield from his wonderful talent, as opposed to on occasions having things cost him and cost your team by sort of putting him in the position defensively that he doesn't even seem like he enjoys defending. Like you see some defenders, Virgil van Dijk looks like he loves it. Robertson,
looks like Robertson,
Trent,
tenacious,
Trent's a bit like, I'd rather just be up there, mate. And I think that maybe that's in his head a little bit. But bro, just final word from yourself before we jump onto Sonny and to Tom and to Aaron awaiting. Real Madrid on Tuesday, you confident?
I had the shreddy confidence last week. After today's, I've got a little bit more, but I just feel like, I think, to be honest, mate, see Kabak and Phillips, I just think that Madrid have just got too much. And you might be wrong. Like you said, the early goal changes everything, Terry, because momentum's everything in football. The fans aren't in as well, though. And I just feel like Madrid will exploit those weaknesses. Even if we score and score a few, I feel like we'll not be able to keep them quiet for the full game. So I've got a little bit of confidence, but I'll be honest, mate, I just feel like they'll have too much for us at the end.
There we go. Conroy, thank you very much for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate that, bro. Top man. Ben here for Super Chat says opinions on Harry Kane and if Tottenham don't make the top four. He will leave if they don't make the top four, guarantee. I think he might leave if they don't win a trophy. Man United, Man City, Liverpool should be moving. Chelsea, if they can't get Haaland, should be moving heaven and earth for him. One of the top 2-3 strikers in world football, will break Alan Shearer's goal scoring record in the Premier League. He's a superstar, needs to be done. Next on the show, we're going to have Tom. After Tom, we've got Sonny coming on. Tom's with us now, Liverpool fan. You get that first victory in 7 at home in the Premier League. How you feeling, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm buzzing. It's been a long time coming, and to do it in that way makes it just a little bit more special. This season we've just not been ourselves late on in games. We've seen lost for ideas and been able to break teams down. This was reminiscent of the Liverpool of old, always finding a way to somehow get across the line. That Trent goal at the end, he's not even in the position he's supposed to be, but he's in the right place, the right time. It's a great finish. And I thought the majority of the team had a very good performance today. I thought James Milner was solid in the midfield. And I think he has a shout of starting against Madrid if we need that leader in the midfield. But I know we've won. I don't want to seem too negative, but I'm done with Gini Wijnaldum at this point. I can't be bothered with him anymore. And today was reminiscent of the Gini Wijnaldum we've seen all season. It was another poor performance by him. The amount of times he makes these bow and on runs and gets into these really good positions, and you're like, oh my God, he's doing it. And then stops and takes 7 touches and then passes it backwards. And the opposition sets up the defensive line. So we're done. The crosses are going to get headed away straight away. I thank him for everything he's done, but he just doesn't want to be here at the minute. He wants to go. He wants to enjoy the lavish life of Barcelona. So let him go. Don't play him. We need players who want to fight for the badge, for the club at this point. I think Thiago, when he came on, he was very good for Wijnaldum. He had a bit more control of the game. But let's not be too negative. Great win. Great win.
Yeah, absolutely, and it puts you in this excellent position now. You're 4th in the table. Yes, West Ham and Chelsea are still to play this weekend as well as Leicester. But you've played down that marker now. They've got to go and win. It could be a difficult game against Crystal Palace tonight for Chelsea. How confident are you that Liverpool can make this top 4?
If we don't beat Real and we don't get through to the next round of the Champions League, I'm very confident. But I think if we make it past Real Madrid, I think our concentration will be split either way, and we might leave ourselves open to a couple of dodgy results that may cost us against the likes of the Leeds who we've got next. And I think we've got like a Newcastle who are desperate for points at this point. So I think if our sole focus is Premier League, our back us 100%.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And in terms of, do you think this would be this is the right kind of confidence boost there ahead of the game against Real Madrid on Tuesday? Is this exactly what was needed by your boys to ensure they're in the mental sort of position to be able to try and come back in that game?
Yeah, there's so many aspects of this game in terms of the win that are different. You know, it's a bit of revenge for the 7-2 earlier on the season, but it's the type of win we haven't had in a long time. We haven't had these games where everything's went against us, and you know we find a way at the end through nook or cranny, a rebound, a great finish. We find a way. We haven't had that this season. We've got that today, so that might give the boys confidence boost that, you know what, we can still do it. We can still find that way. We're still that good. We're still that persistent. We still got that quality. So hopefully this is all we need to take it on and put the pressure on Madrid on Wednesday. You know?
There we go. Listen, really appreciate you coming on, Tom. Top man. Thank you very much for your call. Viewers, make sure you're smashing that like button right now. Share this stream on your social media platforms. There's over 1,000 of you watching. You will share. I always want to do this experiment on socials. If 1,000 people watching shared the stream simultaneously with, say, 2 WhatsApp groups on their Facebook and on their Twitter page, I'd love to just see what the take up on that is. Let's do that experiment now. Get some sharing done. Get the like buttons hit. We've got LFC Sunny coming on the show next. It's got a lot of your comments here. You're all talking to each other. Baz, I'm not going to get involved. You're all chatting to one another. Bill here says Genie has been run into the ground and wants to move. Should be sold for 10 to 20 million or even less and just move on. Doesn't have the legs or motivation. Was clear months ago, is what Bill has said here. Yeah, I think his motivation's gone, and that's what then the legs go after that. Michael here, the super chat, says LFC need Wilskins. I don't get that. England's best striker and Douglas Luiz. Do you mean Watkins? I think you might mean Watkins there, Michael. Ollie Watkins, I felt a bit sorry for him today, obviously being on the losing side. Good performance from him. Douglas Luiz, he's been quite impressive this season, really, considering that he was kind of looked at as a sort of Man City flop. But he has done very, very well this campaign. And I think Aston Villa, regardless of today's sort of disappointing defeat, can be really happy to be sitting in 10th this season. When you look at who's above them, barring West Ham, there isn't a team that's above Aston Villa that you wouldn't expect to be above Aston Villa in the Premier League. So they've had a very good year. Faisal here with a super chat says Thiago Alcantara has to start against Madrid. Sadio Mane needs to pass the ball. He is worse than Salah last year. Listen, Mo Salah's never been bad for Liverpool. He might have had a bad game or two. Mo Salah's not had a bad season for Liverpool. Never, not once in his life. Thiago starting, it's an interesting one. You're going to need legs and you're going to need energy. But you do need someone that I think Genie's got to come out of your team ahead of the Real Madrid game. Thiago in. Fabinho's got to start that game. And then I actually think you've got to go with James Milner. I think you've got to go with James Milner for that workman-like mentality. But it's also the positional sense. It's the being able to handle the occasion as well. You kind of got a bit of everything. God, what you'd give to have Jordan Henderson. Maybe not Milner, though. Is Curtis Jones fit? I don't know if he's fit. I haven't checked. Curtis Jones, Thiago, Fabinho. That could work. That could be a pretty good pairing. But we're going to go to LFC Sunny next. Welcome back to the show, mate.
What a win.
You finally won a game at home.
For me, from the callers that have just gone, I've heard too much positivity because we went away to Arsenal, won 3-0. And then our first half against Real Madrid, our expected goals was 0.00. So I don't want to get carried away because that performance wasn't great either. I need to have a little discussion about Wijnaldum as well because I know Tom doesn't rate him either. I'm the exact same. This man is knocking years off my life whenever I watch him. I look at him, he looks like he makes it impossible to play a forward pass. When it looks like it's impossible to not play a forward pass, he still somehow finds it backwards. Well, I heard you lot speaking about Alisson. Alisson can walk the ball in his own net. It's Adrian on the bench. He's not getting a stop. I think Alisson, he can afford to have a couple bad games, but from what he's done, and we know what he's capable of, we may as well just try and not go and get a new keeper. But I need just Wijnaldum again. He's not that player that we need. He's already leaving. He was our captain against Real Madrid. One of the reasons why we lost. We can't have this going on at Liverpool.
I understand that. I think he's gone. It was a bad mistake to keep him. Should have let him go at the end of the or in the summer, if that made sense, when he wanted to, and reinvested that money. I think it's a really good learning curve for FSG and for Jurgen Klopp to kind of push him on in relation to that. In terms of this comeback, though, it puts you into a very commanding position. It gives you a very good opportunity to make the top four. How is your confidence levels about making it into the Champions League next year?
So finishing top four, you're saying, or like winning the Champions League?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, finishing top four.
I'm going to lie, I'm not confident. Like, this team has shown me that I shouldn't be confident because, like I said, we went away to Arsenal, smacked them. It's not like Arsenal are a really bad team. Like, we went away to Arsenal. That should be a tough game. And then we went to Real Madrid, and the first half was 0.0 expected goals. It shows our approach. So I can't really be confident. I wish I could be, but this team has shown me that I can't be.
Yeah, I understand. I do understand that, but this is a team that won the league canter. The season before that, missed out in high 90 points. Like, got high 90 points, missed out by a singular point to Man City, and won the Champions League. If they get that confidence back, you are better than every other team competing for that top four.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done, isn't it? We can't just get that confidence back. Like we've seen this season, we haven't got the players to get that confidence back. Like Mane, I can promise you now, he will not get any better this season.
Oh, I mean, in terms of going ahead then into the Champions League, how are you feeling about this? Is this, I mean, do you have any more confidence now of coming back? Has this made you more optimistic, or are you still down in the dumps about it?
Yeah, no, look, I can't be optimistic going into the game. If I did, I'd just be an idiot because this team, again, they've shown me why I can't do that. If we look at that game as well, I think we've gone 120 shots at Anfield, 2 goals. Like, and in none of those games have I looked at the keeper and gone, you know what, you were really good today, mate. Fair play. None of those games, the keeper was outstanding. We just can't finish. And today it was that as well. Salah, look, he had a lot of chances today. And once again, we have seen Salah do this. He's a very high goal scorer like we see, but his finishing isn't there like the other players that we have.
I hear you on that. In terms of today's performances, though, Trent Alexander-Arnold been criticised a lot this week. A lot of pressure put upon him. Do you feel he stepped up today?
100%. I think that we criticise Trent loads, and like we should. Like defensively, he's not there, but we need to praise him going forward as much as we criticise him defensively because he's one of the best at what he does. We play the game that we want to play, like moving the ball forward, having Trent in the upper half of the pitch. He is the best right back in the world if we're using him in that utility. But if we're not going defensively, we've already established that he's not the best going there. But if we can play our game that we want to play, for me, he's by far the best right back in the world.
In the world, better
in the world. If we can play our game like him in the upper half of the pitch, doing what he does best, for me, best right back in the world. Yeah.
And in terms of Trent moving forward, do you see him as being a right back continuing, or do you think there's more of an opportunity to convert him as Harry Redknapp did with Gareth Bale into an attacking player? Would you prefer to see him there, and maybe you bring in a really good defensive right back, and that way you get the best of both worlds?
It's so weird with Trent for me because like Trent has one of the best like whips of a ball you'd ever see. But are you speaking like moving him to a kind of midfield position then? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, you look at your midfield and you got Gini going out. I mean, there could be some mileage in moving Trent into that right hand side of the midfield three, as an example, getting a proper right back in, and then that way you just get to see Trent as the playmaker, as the goal scorer at times, as opposed to worrying. He doesn't need to worry about being a defender first.
For me with Trent, I don't think he's like a dead ball specialist, but I don't see him as like, you know, these midfielders, like people would compare him to De Bruyne. He's nothing like De Bruyne because De Bruyne has all the other attributes. Trent, for me, doesn't have those attributes. I just think his final ball and everything like that is one of the best. I think if we were to move him into the midfield, we'd weaken our midfield. But if we were to kind of position him higher forward, just higher against ahead of right back and somehow fit someone in below him, it would work. But then what we do with Salah, do you know what I mean? So it's hard to say, isn't it?
I hear you on that. There's obviously big news today about Harry Kane looking to leave Tottenham. Is he the kind of player that you would like to see Liverpool sign this summer?
Of course. I'd love to see Harry Kane. Who would not take Harry Kane? He's everything. He's not just a goal scorer, he's a creator. He's probably about 1 million times better than Firmino, so we already get better there. Well, how could I say no to Harry Kane? It's just we won't get Harry Kane.
Why? Because of money.
Because of money, yeah.
Do you know what? He might not want to move there, but you know what? I'd be if I was Liverpool, I'd try a little cheeky thing. I'd be like, listen, how about we give you Firmino?
Oh, this swap deal stuff that we always do.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, Firmino, Shaqiri, and maybe somebody else. Like Firmino, Shaqiri, and like 50, 60, 70 million. That might work.
But it's not realistic, really, though, is it? Because do Spurs want those players? If I'm Spurs, I don't want Firmino.
Yeah, they don't want those players. Well, do you know what? I think Firmino's a very good player. I think a little bit like Mane. I think a bit like Gini. I think he's just gone stale at Liverpool. I think
that's the thing, because today he wasn't actually that great. It's just because his standards are so low now. People saying, actually, Firmino was quite good today. He wasn't quite good today. Just compared to his standards of how bad he's been all right today.
Yeah, I just think he's gone stale at Liverpool. A lot of.
I don't think there's a way back. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you could go to another club and you come alive. And what you often see when this happens, it depends how people feel about a manager. There's always this, see, told you our manager was dead. Look what X is now doing, that he's at a new club. But a lot of people are like that. You can be doing a job for 4 or 5 years. You're a bit bored, a bit complacent. You move to a new department or a new company and you're backfiring on all cylinders. It's just natural for people to get into these sort of ruts. But Sonny, listen, I want your claim right now. Top 4, yay or nay? You're going to make it?
Oh, I have to say it. We're going to get top 4. We're going to get top 4.
There we go.
And you know what? Before I go, we're going to beat Real Madrid in the second leg as well. We're going to go through to the semi-final.
Look at that, man like Sonny. Speak to you soon, mate. Take care. Next on the show, we've got Max Watto. What you saying, Max?
Yo, Terry, I don't want to get too gassed, but I'm going to be gassed. Trent Alexander, absolute baller. He just whipped that far corner. Top 4's coming. Champions League semi-final. Here we come. Let's go, boys. That's what I want to say.
There you go.
I can't remember the last time we've won in extra time.
I can't remember the last time you won at home, to be honest. It was about 2-3 months ago. It does feel like a long time. Listen, bro, thanks for calling the show and having your say, mate. Really appreciate that. Michael here says Don Thiago is going to be one of the biggest EPL flops. LFC Sonny is talking rubbish about Gini and Mane, Fab, Trent Alexander and Gini midfield for Madrid. Williams at right back. That is what Michael wants to see. When will Trent move into midfield? For me, I think Trent should be moving into midfield soon. I'm talking like this season they should look to do it. He's just not a defender. He's not a defender. So take away those responsibilities, play him in midfield. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live again after Chelsea finish their game against Crystal Palace. And make sure you're live. Make sure you're tuning into the Football Terrace at that point. Smash the like button right now for this stream. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again.